And this caused me to not be able to spend time with the ones that I loved as well. So, because if you stop, the whole world will implode. I realized the only way I could get back to controlling everything was to heal, heal, heal. If I let go, it's not going to go off the rails. You are doing something. You are in control. Just know it's normal when you've gone through life in a traumatic state. As you felt like as long as you could keep all the ducks in a row, and every time one tried to wander off, you grabbed it. This could be why you struggle to slow down, spend time with your kids, spend time with your spouse. Don't make it up in your head before it happens. Don't run that conversation through and think you know how it's going to go.
Hi guys, welcome back. This is Saturn Returns. My name is Crystal, and here we talk about healing in ways that are easy to understand, digest, and apply. And today we're going off script. I don't have a script for this one because we're just going to talk about what I've been dealing with and what I've learned so I can help you. We talked previously in the video about codependency, about how you might deal with hypervigilance. And this, I had been dealing with hypervigilance and coming through that. I couldn't understand why whenever I stopped to try and relax, I could not relax. And this went back to childhood, where every time I was trying to relax, I got given something to do or interrupted or a fight ensued or something like that. But this carried through and it became a source of control for me. So you might find that you identify with this as well. Whenever I would try to relax, I would become get a bit not full on panic attacks or anything like that. It was just very uncomfortable and I couldn't do it. And this is because of my home life, I realized that if I was relaxing, I couldn't control the situation. A lot of times when I was trying to relax, my child would get hurt. I would go to the bathroom and I didn't have eyes on them for 2 seconds, and all of a sudden they did something and they got hurt because I wasn't there. And this gave me trauma on top of what I went through as a child. I realized one night that why can't I just relax? And this caused me to not be able to spend time with the ones that I loved as well. So pay attention if you deal with this, because this is going to help you when you want to relax, you want to spend time with people, but you feel like you simply can't. Because if you stop, the whole world will implode. Everything will go wrong. And this creates a nervous system response in us of fear, like we can't slow down. So before I got sick, I was going constantly, because if I could control the situation around me, if I could make sure I was prepared for everything, anticipated everything, kept everything in line, made sure everything was just so, I had this illusion of control that nothing bad could happen. But when I took a day off, or if I tried to sit down and relax, or I tried to spend time with people and not be constantly going, I felt like I was losing that control and everything was going to fall apart. And then when I got sick, I started learning about healing, started healing, and realizing that now I have to go with healing. If this sounds familiar for you, you might be dealing with this too. I was bedridden with my chronic illness. You can learn more about that in the first couple of videos where I talk about it a little bit more, but I literally became allergic to stress. My nervous system shut down. I had episodes that were anaphylactic. It was not great. I realized the only way I could get back to controlling everything was to heal, heal, heal. So I became go with that, to the point where I was constantly learning about healing, taking in things, expanding my knowledge, applying things. And I was actually slowing myself down, because the insights actually come when you rest and relax and you get into that feminine state of receiving. And I'm spiritual, so I will bring some of that into this for those that are. If you're not, then you don't have to worry about that. I didn't ever stop going. I just transferred it from external things that I could do before I was bedridden into internal things. And Source showed me that this was necessary at the time, because I needed to turn that focus from the external to the internal, because that's the only thing I can control. And so, but then I was shown I need to let that go. I am now aware of all my patterns. I am now aware enough that I catch things when they're happening. They don't slip by. If I let go, it's not going to go off the rails. I'm allowed to start living now. But that was very uncomfortable, and still is. I'm working on this, okay? It is still very uncomfortable for me to sit down and watch TV without doing something else, because I feel like if I'm doing something, my brain has equated to, if you are doing something, you are in control. If you are out of control, if you were just resting, relaxing, anything could happen. Terrible things could happen, yada, yada, yada. But terrible things rarely ever happen, and when they do, I'm equipped to handle them. I know how to be of use in emergency situations very quickly. I don't fear pain and struggle. I understand they're there to teach and transform me. So we talked about this with the hypervigilance. It still is very uncomfortable, and this is what I want to tell you. You don't need to overanalyze that. You just need to sit with it until it disappears. Telling yourself, I am safe, nothing bad is going to happen. I am feeling this way because I feel like I need a sense of control, and I trust my path. I trust that everything is okay, and if it's not, then I can handle it. You're not trying to get rid of it. You are trying to allow your nervous system to have the exposure to it and see organically that it is safe. So in these times, you just need to relax. And if your body can't relax, you can do whatever methods, EFT tapping, soothing self-talk, reparenting, however you feel comfortable managing it. But understand, it's not your job to just get rid of it. This exposure to relaxation will slowly start to do that and reprogram it itself. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to want to do it. You're going to procrastinate on it. You're going to want to keep scrolling, keep doing something else. Because I realized I have no problem processing my emotions anymore. I don't keep myself busy because of that. I keep myself busy from the fear that if I don't, everything will fall apart. And this is just simply not true. And I have to show that to my body. Yes, I was in survival situations in the past that created this. I'm not in those anymore. I removed myself from those situations. So now it's time for my nervous system to see that I'm safe. And that's what I'm doing. And so if you struggle with any of this stuff, just know it's normal when you've gone through life in a traumatic state, especially if you're an overachiever, eldest daughter, eldest son, whatever, where you felt like as long as you could keep all the ducks in a row and every time one tried to wander off, you grabbed it and you brought it back, that you could be safe. You can just be safe. Look around you. Depending on where you're at in your healing journey, you've probably already removed the threats from your life, understanding that you're worth more than that you don't need to keep experiencing that. You're on a whole new level of consciousness. So now it is safe for you to relax. And if you're not in that place, I think you know what you need to do and what changes you need to make. And as we've talked about before, you can take the baby steps. If you can't get out of a situation, at least find somewhere safe that you can be, and you can be by yourself and you can regulate yourself, but take those small steps to change the situation, because otherwise you won't be able to regulate this until you can get into a safer space, a space that you have cultivated specifically for you and your own safety. And that's what our lives should be anyway. You don't have to keep people in your life that keep you in a state like your past and your trauma. But this is mostly for the people who have been wondering why, even though they process their emotions and they really want to relax but can't. This is why. It's just going to take that exposure therapy, doing something different and allowing yourself to sit in that discomfort, knowing that it will slowly fade. You are showing yourself that it's safe now to rest. And I know you want a life where you can. I know when you can picture your life, there's relaxation and all these things, but those require you to train your nervous system to be safe with them so that you will stop and experience them. It had personally impacted my relationships and made me feel unfulfilled in a relationship because I was projecting that the relationship wasn't fulfilling because we weren't spending time together and all this other stuff, whenever he had earlier in the relationship wanted to spend time with me, and I wanted to spend time with him too. I just felt compelled to do these other things. Like I couldn't stop or everything was going to fall apart. And he said, I know, I saw it in you, but I didn't know what to do. And I was like, I just had to get here on my own. I would spend all day hyper-focused because I have ADHD, and then I would go to lay down to go to bed and realize all my time was gone and I didn't spend any time with him, and I really wanted to. This could be why you struggle to slow down, spend time with your kids, spend time with your spouse, spend time with your friends, because you just feel like if you stop, the whole world's going to explode. And this is just simply not true. But you have to train yourself, show yourself that it is not true. And if it is true for your life, this means you need to do some weeding. You need to weed out the things that make you feel this way, because you deserve a life better than that. You've already lived that. You don't need that anymore. So it's time to take the steps. You can take the baby steps, okay? And sometimes we're in safe situations. We just don't realize it because our perception is still in survival. So we don't speak up for ourselves. We don't hold boundaries, even though we're technically around people that would accept that, because we have raised our vibration, raised our frequency. We're now aligning with different people, but our mindsets are still in the past. So don't make it up in your head before it happens. Don't run that conversation through and think you know how it's going to go. Give the person a chance to be different, because this is how you start to see that life can be different. Bit of a shorter video today. I'm putting out what I'm inspired to put out. And this, I think I was able to sum up pretty well. If you have any questions about this, leave them down below. If you have any suggestions or things that you want me to cover in a video, you can leave that in the comments or in the Google forum in the description. And I love being here with you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.